the biggest sign of final narcissistic discard. They're not coming back. Narcissists often exhibit hot and cold behaviour. The hot and cold dynamic is a common tactic in relationships with narcissistic individuals. It stems from their need for control, validation, or power. In the hot phase, they will be attentive, charming, and loving, which may be a part of their love bombing, where they will overwhelm you with affection and attention to secure your trust and admiration. Because by making you feel special, it may cause you to become more emotionally invested. But then sometimes they can be cold, which may involve emotional withdrawal, criticism, or even outright neglect, where they will punish you because they reacted to perceived slights or a lack of constant admiration. So they will test your boundaries to see how much you will tolerate and to maintain control. They will emotionally manipulate you to keep you off balance, so that you remain focused on regaining their approval. But not all narcissists use hot and cold behaviour. Some narcissists may rely on other tactics like gaslighting, triangulation, or constant criticism instead. The degree and frequency of a narcissist's hot and cold behaviour can vary based on their traits, upbringing, and whether they are grandiose or a vulnerable narcissist. The narcissist will leave you, but then the next day they will hoover you back in because they want to regain control, or they will abandon you so that you chase them. In a paradoxical way, the inconsistency and unpredictability of a narcissist becomes their most predictable trait, because their behaviours often follow specific patterns, even if they appear chaotic on the surface. Their overwhelming need for power and control restricts their emotional and behavioural repertoire. It effectively limits their ability to function beyond a narrow range of tactics. Their focus on maintaining dominance and protecting their ego comes at the expense of their own self-awareness and adaptability, to where you may notice that there is a repetition of tactics. Because narcissists tend to rely on a small set of manipulative strategies such as gaslighting, triangulation, blame shifting, or love bombing, which may work for them in maintaining control, but it causes them to lack the flexibility to respond differently in nuanced or healthy ways. Because they have difficulty with vulnerability and an avoidance of accountability, which restricts their awareness, where they can only experience this ego-driven perception. They see the world only through the lens of their own needs and desires. This egocentrism blinds them to others' perspectives. It limits their ability to empathize or learn from feedback. Because they have an obsession with controlling people and situations, which leads them to tunnel vision, it causes them to miss opportunities for growth or fail to see how their behavior damages relationships. They resist self-reflection or growth, which causes them to hold on to a fragile self-concept and a lack of understanding of who they are. They have so many blind spots, and this is how they often self-sabotage. Their need for power and control restricts their functions and awareness. It traps them in a limited behavioural and emotional range, and this prevents meaningful growth, deep relationships, and long-term success. It also causes their behaviour to be predictable, as it is rooted in their own internal struggles. Which is how I am able to make these videos, and so many people around the world are able to resonate with them. Because narcissists are more similar to animals than humans. They behave in ways that are instinctual and predictable, much like an animal driven by basic needs. Just as animals need food to survive, narcissists crave their food, which is constant admiration and attention. When they're deprived of this, they may become agitated, desperate, or even aggressive. When they feel threatened, they may attack as a defense mechanism. They experience boredom and stimulation seeking. They are reactive rather than reflective. Their responses are driven by their immediate needs, such as to defend their ego or regain attention, rather than thoughtful consideration. They're like animals acting on instinct. And this lack of self-awareness makes their actions predictable over time. So we know that narcissists will often discard their victims several times before there is a final discard where they will never come back. But what is the biggest sign of the final discard? A narcissistic relationship typically progresses through 3 distinct phases. The first phase is idealization, which is where they overwhelm you with affection, attention and flattery, followed by devaluation, where they break you down and turn you into a shell of yourself. And finally, there is the discard phase, which is when they can't get anything more out of you and they need to chase something new or unusual, but they may leave you many times long before they discard you. They may make you think that they're done and that they're never going to come back, but these are just mind games, because then they soon hoover you back into the relationship. They make you chase after them, because they want to feel important, but it just drains the life out of you. The biggest sign that a narcissist is about to discard you for the final time lies in their complete emotional and behavioural detachment, to where they will show a loss of interest in controlling you. They will no longer even try to manipulate, provoke or engage you emotionally. They will barely try to get anything out of you as much as they used to, which is a sign that they are about to discard you for the final time. Because narcissists thrive on supply. They need emotional reactions, attention and control over you. So when they no longer find value in controlling you, they're preparing to move on. And they may even show complete indifference to you, but they show no interest in engaging, whether positively or negatively. They may avoid contact, conversations or even arguments. They will show indifference rather than anger or criticism, which suggests that they have emotionally disconnected and no longer care about extracting supply from you. And they no longer fear you exposing them, or any of the consequences they might face as a result of the breakup. They don't care what you might say about them, because they've already spread the fake news. They've already ran a propaganda against you. They've ran a smear campaign, they've ruined your reputation, so they're not worried about what you might say about them, because they're convinced that they're going to keep getting supply. They've already successfully convinced everyone to see you as the crazy one. They've caused everyone to believe that you just want to tarnish their image and that you're actually the one who is abusive. Which of course is not true. But this is the biggest sign of the final discard by a narcissist, because they have already brainwashed everyone. So they know that no one is ever going to believe your version of the story. They will just seek your truth as proof of your craziness, because you're likely to be angry about what they did to you, and maybe you said some things that you shouldn't have said. Maybe they baited a reaction out of you, and then they go and show the recording. They play the victim and act as though you have wronged them, which proves to everyone that you have gone insane and that you just want to destroy the narcissist's life. It causes all of the narcissist minions to hate you. The only thing that matters to a narcissist is their image. And they will do anything to protect it. They will do anything to prevent you from harming it. They will discard you, because they will think you can't do anything about it. And when they feel like they can get away with something, they will feel untouchable and invincible. It will send them on a power trip to where they are capable of doing anything. They will torture you. They will harm your children, because at the core of their disorder, they are an abuser. And the only thing that stops them is their fear of being caught or having to face the consequences. So once they've already made you out to be the crazy one, they feel like they can do anything. They think that any action against you is justified and that you just have to tolerate it. But if you do react, or if you get worked up about it, then to them and their millions, that's just further proof that you were the crazy one. And then it just justifies them abusing you even more. But they don't ever look at their own actions. They don't ever think that they are doing anything wrong. No matter how much they escalate the devaluation, or how many times they insult, blame shift and criticize you, even if they force everything to be toxic and unsustainable, in their minds that's still your fault. And you have to be accountable for that, because they believe that they can't do anything wrong. The only thing that matters to the narcissist is their personal image, which is why they will work hard to control the narrative. It's why they will work hard to control the narrative, painting themselves as the victim or hero, while subtly or overtly discrediting you. Before the final discard, they will prepare a public relations campaign to protect their reputation and preemptively blame you for the relationship's failure. The final discard is marked by the narcissist's complete detachment and redirection of their energy to a new supply. They leave when they believe they've extracted all possible benefits from the relationship, or when maintaining the relationship threatens their fragile ego. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You can book a one-on-one with me on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.